Welcome back to Market on Close. I'm Caroline Woods filling in for Oliver Rennick. I'm joined now by John Merris, CEO of Solo Brands. John, thanks so much for joining us today. Great to have you on the show.
Thanks, Caroline. How are you today?
I'm good. I can see your smokeless stove behind you. I have to say congratulations on this new ad campaign featuring, of course, Snoop Dogg. Caught my attention the other day. I was totally thrown off. I'm like, what is this an ad for? There was definitely some shock value, so it seems to be working. But, I'm just so curious, how does that collaboration even begin?
Gosh, it started with Snoop's picture on the wall at our incredible agency partner, the Martin Agency. And honestly, it was just this crazy idea that none of us really knew if it would turn into anything. And it wasn't that long ago that we started kind of noodling with the idea, and ultimately we're able to track down his team and build what we think is just this incredible partnership with Snoop and his brand.
All right, well, it's certainly getting a lot of buzz, so I'm sure that makes you happy from a brand perspective. I'm sure it'll make Martin happy if they get a nice award from it. But just in terms of any immediate impact, have you seen a pop in sales because of it? I mean, the stock price has gotten a nice bump, up 40% or so this month.
We're super excited about the partnership. You know, when we thought about bringing Snoop in, there's a new customer group there that we're excited to tap into that Snoop gives us access to. We've seen really nice traffic improvements on the site. Not sharing yet exactly the total impact. We're still measuring exactly the revenue impact on the site, but very happy with the traffic and brand exposure that this has brought to us just in the last few days. And obviously these next few days are even more important as we head into Black Friday, Cyber Monday.
Okay, so speaking of numbers that you can talk about, you did report earnings earlier this month. Earnings and revenue both topped analyst expectations. You reaffirmed your guidance. I do want to ask you, wholesale revenue rose 114%, but DTC actually fell almost 12%. Are you relying on Snoop to change that at all to help boost those DTC revenue figures?
There's some cyclicality or seasonality to those numbers. We typically see in Q1 and Q3 the sell-in in our wholesale and retail partnerships as we head into our bigger quarters of Q2 and Q4. This is a quarter, this year, Q4, where you see things steer more towards direct-to-consumer. But most definitely, this is one of the key marketing initiatives we had this quarter with the Snoop partnership to help drive and bolster that D2C revenue. So we expected some pressure as we leaned into wholesale on our D2C channel on e-com. And now, obviously we expect for it to tilt in the other direction with some of these marketing initiatives and going into Q4.
Okay, so I was going to ask about seasonality because in addition to the stove, you also have a kayak and stand-up paddleboard and swim trunks. So the holiday, to me, those all, obviously being in the Northeast, I think of those as all summer products, but the holiday season is key for you in terms of consumer spending?
For sure, and definitely Solo Stove leads the pack from a seasonality standpoint to the points that you just made with those other brands being very heavy seasonal towards the summer or the warmer months. But even during the holidays, you see, Oru and Isle and Chubby's all have significant momentum during the holidays as well. A lot of people travel to warmer climates during the holidays. And so Chubby's and Oru and Isle will pick up some steam during those periods. So this is a great quarter for us across the board through the entire platform, all of our brands.
You mentioned on the call that consumers' wallets are stretched, but you're well positioned to navigate the uncertain environment. I'm just curious how uncertain the environment actually is for you and how stretched the consumer actually is. How are you seeing that play out in terms of consumer behavior?
Yeah, a couple of years ago during COVID, what you saw during the holiday, especially during Q4, is you saw consumers shifting their buying behavior to earlier. So they were worried about being able to get the items that they wanted because supply chain was so challenged. Last year, we saw the consumer delayed again, more like the 2019 and prior behavior going into Q4, especially into Black Friday. And I'd say that this year it feels even more so that the consumer is waiting for the best deal. I think as you see more pressure and you see consumers looking and needing their dollars to stretch or looking for the best deals, they're ultimately going to wait till the last minute to make sure that they're getting the best deals. It feels more like that this year. Obviously, our product innovation pipeline, as well as some of these key marketing initiatives like Snoop. We also have announced our participation in the Macy's Day Parade tomorrow. But being involved with these marketing initiatives, we are hopeful will help the consumer show up in an outsized way with Solo Brands this year.
So marketing initiatives, but what about promotional activity? Are you offering discounts?
Not any different than what we have in prior years. So we're more promotional in Q4, but this is very typical for us, especially in our D2C channels, as well as across our wholesale and retail partners as they match our promotions. So we are promotional during this period, but in line with last year's expectations from a promotionality standpoint. We think that this is enough to drive the consumer to us and have them participate with the brand.
How concerned are you that this is a consumer that really likes spending on experiences right now and not so much on things? I guess your things provide experiences, but if I'm traveling, maybe I'm not bringing a stand-up paddleboard, maybe I'm using it at a hotel or something. So I guess how concerned are you that that trend will continue?
I think you nailed it, right? Our products and what we offer are experiential in nature. And I think that what we're seeing right now is, yes, there are people still spending on traveling and on vacations, but there are also those that are so pressured that they haven't been able to pony up for the vacation. We think that Solo Brands offers a really unique offering of products that allow consumers to have great experiences with friends and family and make those memories at home, even if they can't afford to go out on a vacation right now or buy those plane tickets or those hotel reservations. So we're excited about what we have to offer as it pertains exactly to what you're talking about, which is experiences, which is what people are seeming to care about more right now than ever.
All right, we have to leave it there, but really appreciate you joining us, John Merris, CEO of Solo Brands. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Caroline.